Hope my voice is clear for you people. Yes. Okay. So listen, last session we discussed about the roads in India. So what are the different types of roads there? What are the classification, Gauri? How can we classify the roads of India? Gauri, can you hear me?
um, go- golden super highways,
Golden quadrilateral super highways,
national highways,
national highways,
state
state highways,
district roads,
district roads,
border roads, and other
border
roads.
roads and other roads. Okay, so this is the classification. Okay, clear or not? So what are they? The golden quadrilateral super highways are there, national highways are there, state highways are there, district roads are there, and the same time we can see border roads too, right? And all other roads there. Okay, so that's it. Okay, about the roads of India. Next one, railways. So we know that roads are cheaper, right or not? If a number of passengers are less, or the quantity of goods it is low or less, okay, it is the cheapest mode of transportation. What? Roadways. Yes or no? Yes or no? No answers from you people. Yes or no? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I know that this is online class, limitations are there, but you should give the replies. It is very important.
Yes, sir.
Okay, want to participate in the class? How you participate in the class when it was an offline class? Nihal is start eating his pen, I think. So Nihal, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So participate in the class like that. How you participate in the offline classes? Okay, you can comment there. You can ask me the questions. No problem. Okay, we will discuss all these things together. Okay, so I can see here 42 students are present. Okay, there's no worries. Okay, so this is the classification. Okay, what are the golden quadrilateral super highways, national highways, state highways, district roads, border roads, and other roads. Coming to the railway. I already told you that if a number of passengers are less or the quantity of goods it is low, then road transportation is cheaper. Road transportation is cheaper. Okay. At the same time, the number of passengers are high, okay, or the quantity of goods to transport from one place to another, it is heavy or bulk, roadways are not that suitable. Okay, that time we have to use, or we want to use the railways. What is that? Railways. So Indian railway, there are a number of specialties are there for Indian railways there. Okay, so basically we are able to divide the railways into three categories there. What are they? Related with the width of the bogie, or the distance between two rails. Okay, I mean two rails in a track. Okay, we are able to classify the railways into three. Okay, that is the broad gauge. Okay, broad gauge, the distance between two rail lines is 1.67 meters, right? That's what broad gauge. Okay, width. Okay, next one, meter gauge railways. Meter gauge. So meter gauge means the distance between, the gap between the two lanes, it is more or less 1 meter. Okay, accurately 1 meter. That's what meter gauge. Hello. Okay, meter gauge. Then the third category is called to be the narrow gauge. What is that? Narrow gauge. Okay, its distance it is nearly 6-7 meters there, right? They are correct or not? Okay, Anjali Priya, one more digit is there. What is that?
Sir, once more.
Meter gauge and the narrow gauge.
Meter gauge.
The width between two lines, it is 1 meter. Okay, and what about narrow gauge? What is the gap between the two lines?
Length of
The gap between the two lines. What is the answer? 0.67, right? Okay, fine. That's it. Okay. So these are the three classification, three different types of railways in India. I mean, rails in India. One is the broad gauge, the second one is the meter gauge, and the last one is the narrow gauge. Okay, clear or not? Now take the notes, all of you. Quick, take your notes. Please write down. Write down fast.
lecture notes.
Yeah. Railways, heading railways. Railways are the principal mode of transportation. Railways are the principal mode of transportation. I know that you people are not that interested to write something. Okay. So these things are compulsory. Write it under the category of lecture notes, no problem. Okay. At the same time, you should submit me these notes by evening. Okay. Send the photograph of the same. Railways. Railways are principal mode of transportation. Railways are the principal mode of transportation. The railways are the principal mode of transportation. Railways are the principal mode of transportation. Principal mode of transportation. For carrying huge loads, HUGE, huge loads, and bulky goods, BLKY, bulky goods. For carrying huge loads and bulky goods. Huge loads and bulky goods. Rachel George, Sania Jinu. Huge load, LOAD. Shania Simon. Huge load, LOAD. Huge loads of LOADS, loads of bulky goods for long and short distances. 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 In India, distances in India. Full stop. Railways have become continuation only.
Same.
Railways have become more important in India's economy, in India's INDI apostrophe S, India's economy, India's economy. Full stop. However, rail transportation in India
We can make it into point and see.
rail transportation in India suffers from certain problems as well. Certain problems as well, which are mentioned below. So I already told you that it's the cheapest mode of transportation for huge loads. Okay, clear or not? I mean, bulky goods are huge loads. It is very important and the cheapest mode of transportation, and is helpful for the economic development of the country. And at the same time, this transportation, I mean, the railway transportation faces some problems also. Okay, they are number one, construction of bridges is required. Construction of bridges is required across rivers, wide beds, WIDE, wide BEDS, beds, river bed, that's what, across the river bed. Okay. For laying down the railway lines. Okay. So it's a problem. Okay. So how to construct number of bridges to cross the river beds or rivers. Clear or not? First of all, you have to construct the bridges, then you have to lay the rail track or rail lines there. So it's a problem. You want to construct number of bridges to cross the rivers there. Okay. Second point, in the hilly terrains, H-I-L-L-Y, hilly terrains, T-E-R-R-A-I-N-S, terrains, hilly areas, that's what. For the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, P-E-N-I-S-U-L-A-R, peninsular. Repeating, in the hilly terrains, T-E-R-R-A-I-N-S, terrains of the peninsular, P-E-N-I-N-S-U-L-A-R, peninsular region,
So can you
railway tracks. Hello.
can you repeat that?
Repeating, in the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, Meghna Bajan, Agna, what's going on? Discussion, writing, good. In the hilly terrains of the peninsular region, railway tracks are laid through, laid through, L-A-I-D, laid through, low hills, L-O-W, low hills, H-I-L-L-S, low hills, comma, gaps or tunnels, low hills, gaps or tunnels, T-U-N-N-E-L-S, tunnels. Third point, the Himalayan mountainous regions, M-O-U-N-T-A-I-N-O-U-S, mountainous regions, the Himalayan mountainous regions are also unfavorable, U-N-F-A-V-O-U-R-A-B-L-E, unfavorable of railway lines. Sorry, 1 minute. The Himalayas mountainous regions are also unfavorable for the construction of railway lines, right? For the construction of railway lines, due to the highest elevation, due to the highest. Now,
Sir,
tell me,
can you
Nizam.
repeat that in the rail? Sir, network issue there. Can you repeat that railways?
I will send the notes there. So you start from here. Okay. Lines due to the highest elevation points, railway lines due to the highest elevation points, E-L-E-V-A-T-I-O-N, elevation points,
Railway lines?
elevation points,
Vision points.
not elevation, height. Okay. Elevation points in the surface, comma, space population, S-P-A-R-S-E, space population, S-P-A-R-S-E, space population.
Same definition, no? Or
No, it is separate points. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, don't worry, I will send the note for you this time, don't worry. Okay. Elevation points in the surface, space population, and lack of economic opportunities, lack of economic opportunities. Fourth one, it is difficult to lay railway lines on sandy plains. It is difficult to lay railway lines on sandy plains. It is difficult to lay railway lines on sandy plains. Yeah, it's next point, last point. It is difficult to lay railway lines on sandy plains. So, what are the problems that the railway facing in India? The first point. Karthik, read the first point.
The construction of bridges is required across rivers, wide beds for laying down the railway lines.
Okay, the first one says that we have to construct number of bridges, okay, to cross the rivers there. You want to lay down the railway track or railway lines, okay, we have to construct bridges first. So number of bridges want to construct. That's the first problem that what we are facing. Okay, we know that when traveling in Kerala, again train, we can see number of bridges, number of bridges. There are number of rivers are there in the state. So number of bridges needed there. Okay, that is the first problem. Second point, Isha, read that. Isha.
In the hilly terrains of the peninsular regions, railway tracks are layered through low hills, gaps of tunnels or tunnels.
Okay, so peninsular region, we know that it's a peninsular plateau. Then two mountain regions are there, the western Ghats and eastern Ghats. Okay, so construction of rails in these regions, it is not that possible. So basically, they are constructing, or the railway constructing rail lanes in low hills. Comparatively, elevation is less or height is less. There we are able to construct, or we want to find out the gaps between the mountain regions or mountains. Okay, or we have to construct tunnels. What is a tunnel? Tunnel. So last week we heard about the second tunnel in Kudiran. It was opened. Okay, tunnel means what is that? Huh? Artificially, we are creating a cave-like structure to cross the mountains there, right or not? Okay, it's called with tunnels. Tunnels. Okay, so that's what the other problem. Okay, so the peninsular region, because of the high or elevated hills, it is very difficult to lay down the what we can say the railway tracks there. So basically, we are laying the tracks on the low hills, or to find out the gaps, or how to construct or create tunnels. Okay, for the railway tracks. Okay. Second one completed. Third problem. Ahlam Fatima. Third one. Please read. 1 minute. Isha, are you okay now? Is there any trouble? Isha. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ahlam. Ahlam Fatima. Third point. Ahlam. Unmute and speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell me. Technical issue with Ahlam Fatima. Anjali Priya. Third point.
The Himalayan mountainous regions are also unfavorable for the constructions of railway lines due to the highest elevation point in the surface, raised population, and lack economic opportunities.
Okay, so one problem is there in Himalayan or Himachal region there. Okay, why? Tall mountains are there. Tall mountains are there. So it is very difficult to construct a railway track on that region. That region. Okay. At the same time, the population is less. Population is less, and it is not economically feasible. Okay. There is no other economical opportunities are there. There is no big factories or something like that. Generally says to me that sir, I can rejoin another device. Okay, fine. Generally, you can do the same. No problem. Okay. So remember the mountainous region, basically Himalaya, Himachal region also facing this problem. Okay, because of the elevation of the mountains, it is very difficult to lay down these railway tracks. Okay, at the same time, the population in that region it is less, and there is no much economical development in that region. Okay, I mean there is no economical development we are able to create from that particular region called the Himalaya or Himachal Pradesh region. Okay, we got that. Next, last and final point, Fisan.
It is difficult to railway lines in sandy plains.
Yeah, it is very difficult to lay down railway lines in sandy plains. I mean, a desertified area or an area that's covered with sand. Okay, clear or not? Difficult to lay down. These are the basic problem that what we are facing. So, Shani is even asking, can you explain first 2 points there? What are the first 2 points? First point, what is that? How to construct a number of bridges to cross the rivers there. Clear or not? If you want to lay down the railway track, first of all, you have to construct the bridge, then only railway line. Clear or not? Directly, you are unable to lay down the railway track to cross the rivers there. Clear? First of all, what to do? Want to construct the bridge. What is the second point here? What is the second point, Shania? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Second point, please read that.
In the hilly terrains of the peninsular region,
Huh,
railway
huh.
tracks are laid through low hills, gaps, and tunnels.
Okay, so peninsula region means the southern India or South India. Clear or not? Here, South India, both edges. Okay, in the east and west side, there are mountainous regions are there called to be the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Okay, hilly terrain, hilly region. Clear or not? Because of these hills, it is very difficult to lay the railway tracks in this region. So we have to construct these railway tracks near the low hilly area, near the low hills, clear or not? Or over the low hills, clear. Comparatively, height of that region is less with the high hills there, right? So we have to choose low hills, okay, or the gap between the two mountains, clear. One way will be there, gap between the two mountains, passes, clear. Otherwise, you have to construct tunnels, clear. Artificial tunnels you have to construct to lay down the railway tracks. That's what. So these all are considering as some troubles that Indian railway facing. It is not a plain surface. Indian terrain is not a plain at all. There are a number of physiographic divisions are there, like the North Indian plains. Comparatively, North Indian plains it is easy. Railway tracks or construction of railway tracks is easy in the northern plains there because there's a plain surface, clear, North Indian plains. But in a Rajasthan desert, it is not possible because it is a sandy terrain, sandy terrain. That's what the last point says there. Okay, or the sandy terrain, it is very difficult. Okay, very difficult to lay down the railway tracks there. Okay, so that's a problem. Next one, peninsular plateau. High hills are there, undulated terrain. It is not slow, I mean, not plain. Slopes are there, high hills are there, so very difficult to lay down the railway tracks there. So we have to choose low hills or want to find out the gaps between the mountains or tunnels. Okay, and the same time Himachal also, or Himachal Pradesh, that is state, Jammu and Kashmir, that state, I mean the Himalaya mountain regions there. There also we are facing the same problem because elevated mountains are there, highly elevated one. I mean tall mountains are there, very difficult to lay down the railway track in that region. And the same time, the number of people who's living in this region it is less. So railways are not economical there, right? Not economical. The same time, there's no much industries in that region, clear or not? So these are the basic problem that facing by the Indian Railway. Indian Railway. You got that? So if you can ask me a question, just check it. Elevation means a height from the ground. Yeah, yeah, Fiza, that's correct. Okay, so moving upward means the elevation is increasing, right or not? Okay, if you're climbing a mountain, elevation is increasing, right? Okay, the height of the Mount Everest it is, what is that? The height of Mount Everest, 8,848 meters, nearly 9 kilometers, right? Is that correct or not? Okay, that is the elevation. That's the elevation. Hope these things are clear for you people. Yes or no? So today we discussed about the railways there. Railways there. Okay. Now, other important transportation over or on the ground, it is the pipeline transportation. What is that? Pipeline transportation. Pipeline transportation. What is this pipeline transportation? Nihal. Nihal, can you hear me? Nihal is playing some music, I think. His audio is muted. Okay, he can't hear what I am saying. See him? Nihal. No, that's music is going on. Sometimes he adjusting the bass there. Bass treble he adjusting there. Muhammad Nihal, what are you doing there?
Nothing, sir.
I got it. All of you, please turn on the cameras. Everyone. Muhammad Nihal's close friend Anuj MS is laughing like anything here. Anuj MS, show your face. Yeah, I can see Anuj. Others, please turn on your cameras. Shifana, Aaron, Jose, Thomas, Nasrin, Shania Simon, Meghna and Agna. Oh, fantastic. Meghna and Agna. Okay. Yes, sir, Maria Salvin. Ashik Joshi asking, sir, what Ashik Joshi, what happened? I got stiff in my neck. So sad. Okay. Fine. So next one, I told you is pipeline transportation. Pipeline transportation. So what do you mean pipeline transportation? Pipeline transportation. My C section students might know that. I already told them. For B section students, if you are opening a tap in your home, what will come from that? Huh?
Water.
Water. Okay. The water is coming through what? A pipe only, right or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. In our house, we are using small pipes, right or not? Maybe half-inch or 1-inch pipes we are using in our homes there, right? Okay, but for pipeline transportation of liquids from long distances, we are using huge pipes with a high diameter. Clear or not? Clear or not? Hello, can you hear me? No response from anyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I got it. Okay, big pipes we are using for long distances, Basically, this pipeline transportation, we are using to send liquid materials, right? We can send through pipe, right or not? Liquid. Clear? And what about gas? Is it possible to send through?
Yes.
Okay, so liquid and gas, it is possible. What about solid materials?
Not possible.
This is not that possible, right or not? Okay, so liquid materials and gas, we are able to send through this pipe. Okay, so what the importance of this pipeline transportation? Basically, the cost of pipeline transportation is less. Agna and Meghna. Agna and Meghna. Either Padambari or Undambari. Huh? You're saying just above the kitchen, right? That's what discussion is going on, I think so. Meghna, Agna, here. You are staying just above the kitchen, means you have to look downwards there, right? Not upwards. Okay, Meghna. So my question is pipeline transportation. Pipeline transportation is very cheap. Clear or not? Cheap in the sense you have to spend some money for installing the pipelines. Okay, for installing the pipelines. At the same time, afterwards we don't want to spend more money on that. Clear or not? Clear or not? So wear and tear cost will be less. But if it is a bus or a train, okay, clear or not? Can you hear me? Hello? What I told now, for pipeline transportation, the maintenance cost is less. But at the same time, for other transportation modes, the maintenance cost is comparatively higher. Clear or not? If it's a bus or a train, the maintenance cost or wear and tear cost, it is high compared with the pipeline. Clear? The pipeline, we have to install the pipeline, then just to use that pipeline to send the material. I mean, the gaseous form material or a material in gaseous form or a liquid form. Okay. Even some sort of solid material also we are able to send through that. Okay, with the form of slurry, clear or not? I mean, the liquid, or sorry, the solid is mixed with the liquid, clear or not? That kind of things also we are able to send through the pipelines there. So we discussed about 3 different modes of transportation. Karthik. Solving the Rubik cube, I think so. Karthik, please. Now it is here. Fine. Okay, so what are they? Road transportation, rail transportation, and the third one? What is the third one?
Transport.
Pipeline transportation. Okay, so the pipeline transportation is considering as the new arrival in India's transportation map. Okay, so write down new arrival in India's transportation map. That's what the pipeline transportation. Pipeline transportation. Okay, so roadways, railways, and pipeline. And the pipeline. Okay, write down pipeline transportation, pipelines, PIPELINES, pipelines. Pipeline network, first point, pipeline network uses pipes Pipeline network uses pipes. Usually underground. Usually underground. Usually underground.
In here what? In here network mean
What?
pipeline. Network in pipeline mean what there? What is that?
Pipeline network uses pipeline. Railway network uses the railway. Okay. The railway is using train, right or not? Like pipeline transportation uses pipes. That's what. Okay, clear. Basically, underground pipes. Okay. So that's a common scenario in Kerala, right? PW department will construct the roads. The next week, water authority will come and they will dig, okay, and lay down the pipes. Then again, the PW will close it. Then telephone department will come. Again, they will start digging. Okay, this is what going on, right? So most of these pipes are underground pipelines. Underground pipes. Okay, write down. I told the first point here. Pipeline network uses pipes, usually underground, comma, to transport and distribute fluids. FLUIDS, fluids. What do you mean fluids? Fluids means
Both gas and
the
liquid.
substances in the liquid form. That's what fluids. Okay, fluids. Full stop. These are used to transport water. These are used to transport water. These are used to transport water.
Same sentence.
Same sentence. Sorry, after fluid, you want to keep a full stop. Okay, fluids. These are used to transport water, comma, crude oil, comma, crude oil, CRUDE, crude oil, comma, petroleum products, crude oil Meghna, CRUDE, crude oil, comma, petroleum products, and natural gas, petroleum products and natural gas. Completed, Krishna? Okay, natural gas, comma, fertilizer factories, fertilizer factories, FERTILIZER, fertilizer factories, and big thermal power plants,
And
big thermal power plants, THERMAL, thermal power plants, okay, full stop. So time to wind up the session. Okay, so balance we'll discuss in the next class. One more thing I have to tell to you people.